And
Live.
we're live. Sorry about the delay. I had some technical difficulties over the airwaves. Well, I noticed that I scheduled this show actually for 9 o'clock, and I made a mistake.
Oh,
Yeah, LinkedIn wasn't cooperating yesterday, and yeah, sorry, we are delaying a few things here because it's a busy life out there. we're trying we're trying to make it work and trying to manage, and but we show up. That's what I think the important thing is, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, let's just so welcome. This is Farmers in Finance. I am Rico, and I'm joined here. My co-host is Gaurav. We are live. I'm in Penticton right now in my new office, and then Gaurav, where are you? Actually,
I'm in Kasoli. It's a hill station. Hill station.
nice.
Yeah,
In India.
in India. In
Yeah.
India.
And then we never said, like what time is it over there right now?
It's like 8:30 in the evening.
Yeah, 8:13 in the evening, and I'm joined here, and it's 8:06
Oh,
a.m.
like 30 minutes difference plus a
Yeah,
day and
there's
night.
like there's even a 30-minute difference.
Not much.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So this show, I don't know if you're just watching and starting to watch. It's about um, well, we have learned so much in our lives as being farmers and also now financial advisors. Well, we can't call ourselves financial advisors, but in the finance industry, so that we have gained this knowledge. And my why is mostly because I want to offer freedom, and like I talked to you about it in the show previous shows, and I want to be free. And so the Buddhist concept is no one's free until everyone is free.
Got it.
So having said that, like that sticks to me, and that's my why I'm doing this. That's my why I get up in the morning. I just want to show financial freedoms, and there is tools out there, and it's all about learning these tools. And always, I'm a learner as well. I'm a learner to teach, and I want to learn these tools. And if I find something that makes sense and it's obvious, I'll talk about it. So having said that, anyone out there watching this in the future or in the present, and if you have any sort of tools that you're like, oh my god, I just discovered the next gold mine, we're all open ears, and you can even teach us on the show or off the show, whatever you want. If you feel comfortable, we would love to join a conversation, start masterminding, because I think this is how we can create freedom for everyone and freedom for each other in a sense as well. So if you're looking for answers, we might not have all the answers, but I think together we can come up with people that have all the answers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
So let's start the show. Obviously, today, quote of the day is from Benjamin Franklin: "A penny saved is a penny earned." Um,
very well said.
Obviously, Benjamin Franklin was back in the 1800s, so a penny there was worth something.
And so we can say every $100 saved is $100 earned.
That's it. Nowadays, we gotta say,
Penny has grown to $100 now.
yeah, I know. It's so funny. Actually, it was in the 1700s. I'm looking at my notes here. So, yes, a penny goes a long distance back then, and thankfully to inflation and what the
Yes.
government's decisions were made back in the days. We are here now, and we gotta say $100 saved, like Gaurav said. It's $100 earned. So the scope of this show today, I hope it's not going to be boring. We're going to try to make it as exciting as possible, because
And
that's
as easy as possible and interactive.
and easy and understandable. So
Yeah.
I didn't show Gaurav what. So we're going to go through an expert financial analysis, So what that is, it's what we do here at Experior, and we take all of your informations because information is key to make a proper plan.
A
And
proper decision,
and
like every
yeah,
decision nowadays backed up by data. If you don't have a correct data, you will not have a correct solution to the problem. And
that is right.
like it
Beautiful.
says, expert financial advice assessment. So it means that we don't only overlook it, but we make a like a we show you a story, like where you are and where are you heading, and what is the shortfall or gain you will have in that journey. And there are so many other aspects, not only like about the numbers, but on the emotional side as well, wherein we talk about goals, we talk about your future, we talk about like if you have any problems right now, like you are in debt or you feel insecure about your finances. That's the first conversation we do. We don't sell anything. That's the main thing. We are here to educate, and to start the education we need to have proper data, and we will check upon our emotions about money. If we have any stress or we feel something about it and we never check that fact, or we just took some financial decision because I saw some reels or few guys who talk like big, and then you have taken some decisions because you have set knowledge. That EFA will make you think on a broader perspective, not about your money, but how that money is affecting you today and how it will affect tomorrow. So I've seen so many EFAs, and after EFAs, people actually, even before we go for the plan, some other people are like, "Whoa, I have not never thought about it." Like I
Yeah.
always thought I can retire at 40, but for 40 retirement, I need to save at least 10,000 a month. He's 35 right now, and then he says I'm negative 30,000. I never realized that I will never retire if I'm under debt. So these are the stories like which we come up, and this is how we uh, are able to give anyone a very personalized financial solution, because we work on like on the data which is exclusive and which is unique to each and every client. And this is what we're gonna discuss today. Rico is so much pumped up today because of EFA, because he has done in past for himself, for some near dear friends, and he found a lot of things how world is under so much stress or like different aspects of it. Don't you feel, Rico, that's what you found?
Oh, exactly, exactly. I mean, you just put it perfectly, and it's funny because I was laughing inside when you were saying that people realize when you ask them questions and you're just like, at first start off, we'll see it, but it gets emotional because people realize the connection they have with money and seeing their future, like, but like we're so programmed that we're so distracted that we just live day by day, that we
Absolutely.
don't think about the future. And this is a tool, not just like what Gaurav was saying. It's just like it's exactly what helps you visualize. Hey, oh my God, I'm like negative 30. I'm in debt, and it comes. We come across it all the time. Like we're in a society that lives paycheck by paycheck, and it's
85%. Yes.
and it's even hard and emotional for us because we're like, oh my God, I want to give you freedom. But then when you look at at the situations of the individuals, we were just discussing that the other day with a client of ours, and it's like living paycheck to paycheck. And it's just like even having the talks, those are hard, the talks that we have to do, right? Because we're like empathetic, like that's how they are in life. And there's like very few solutions, but you gotta start. And there is a question, the key in this thing is like, if we set up the plan, are you going to put it in place? And we ask that first, not
Yeah.
at the end, because we want the commitment first, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's part of it. So yeah, I would like to introduce us. We just mocked it up. Obviously, this is not real, so don't take this information these are fictional characters in our
Any
EF.
resemblance to
Yeah,
anyone is just a pure coincidence. Nothing
yeah,
personal. The numbers are uh, basically me and Rico were discussing yesterday whose EFA we should take, and then we came up with the idea. We have Mr. John with us, and for the numbers, Rico has experience in farming. So as a farmer, we are doing a EFA which is unique in a kind, because for
yeah.
a farmer the things are way different than someone who's working as a job guy in Vancouver downtown. They have like groceries and everything. Farmers have all these, and then they have feed for whom? Kettles. Then they have this. Then they have this. They have bunch of expenses coming up like every second day, which is not the case with people who are in a job unless until they spend like pretty much every day. Isn't it, Rico? That's the
Correct.
story.
Correct. Yeah. The story is we just took a family, Jesse and Lana Sprout. They have two kids. We just wanted to make it more feasible for like to understand the concept for families, but it can go to the individual. It could go to uh, different size of families too. I mean, this can expand, but obviously, like we try to keep it short too because we don't have too much time. And so I'm going to share my screen and add it to the stage. Okay, so we can see this just fine, right? Can you see that, Gaurav?
Yeah, pretty.
Okay, so we have Jesse Sprout. Yeah, we talked to them yesterday, and they are farmers. They have what? I'm just looking at my notes here. They have been farming for 10 years, and they do ground crops over in Maple Creek. That's their town, and their address is at 2155 Orchard View Road. They shared a little bit of information. We asked about Lana. Lana was busy; she was going back in and out, but Jesse was able to answer all the questions that we were asking. So we would just want to point out Jesse's 45 years old, and Lana is 42 years old. They have two kids, and named Willow and Oakley. And Willow is a girl, and she is 16 years old, so she's just about in the middle of high school. And then there is Oakley, which is 13 years old, so he just started high school, and they all live together. Willow expires to be in agribusiness, so follow on the parents' footsteps. So she wants to go to school, and Oakley does want to go to school as well, and he wants to learn about mechanics. So then we are going to go into their savings plan. Okay, so Jesse, when I asked him, and he laughed about this, when do you want to retire? He's like,
Never. For farmers, we never retire.
never for farmer. Have you worked in here before? It's just never want to retire. But I said, humor me. So he said, okay, fine, 62. And then Lana said, 60. She wants to retire earlier. She wants to take a few more vacations. And then obviously because they're farmers and they grow their own food, and hopefully we're going to give them a stress-free life.
Yeah.
Just life expectancy, we did 88 years old, and then Lana, because obviously women are considered to live more, live
So
longer.
just adding here, the average life expectancy in Canada, which insurance companies take, for male it is 82, and for
Yeah.
female it is 84. So it
Yes.
is there already, and you took absolutely right numbers.
Hey, I'm
Stress
trying
free.
to
Good
incentivize
food.
that if you
Good
become a
food.
farmer, you live longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We just because there is much more of a demand for farmers out there. So
Yeah.
Jesse monthly net income it's $8,000. So gross
Hmm.
8,500 if you took taxes, and Lana's net income is 2,600 and 3,200 gross. And when we asked this question, it's like, when you want to retire, what kind of income would make you feel comfortable? So we can either go, we'll just ask you straight up, is an amount or a percentage of the income that you have now? Obviously, when you are in retirement, you're not needing as much income as you do, because you're not like driving in your car to work, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have expenses, and you can reduce your expenses as well, right? So we said, how about 70% for both of them? So that gives them a monthly goal of 5,950, and then for Lana 2,240. Um, when we calculate, this is where we're here, Jesse ROR. So before retirement, that means if you were to invest any money or at
Rate of return.
savings, this is the rate of return. Yeah. And we are, how do you say, when we're giving this 6%, we're um, kind of like conservative. 6%
Yeah.
is conservative. But out
Yes.
there, if you were to invest this money, it's not easy. Like, you would have to know what you're doing, your investments. You got to time properly things. So you got to learn. There's a learning curve. But conservatives, if you're with us, with Experior, we can, not guarantee, nothing is guaranteed, but 6% is pretty good. And then we just say rate of return in retirement, so after retirement, of 4%, because then you need to become conservative when you're in retire. So you have to invest in more,
Dividend,
state,
state funds, government
yeah,
bonds. So
government
your money
bonds.
is liquid and it is secured 100%.
Yeah, yeah, so that you don't risk your retirement age and have to go to back to farming.
Mhm.
So we took inflation rate to 2.5%. Um, Obviously, it fluctuates over the years. We've seen it up to 8% per year after COVID, but yeah, it's just, we take it on average, right, Gaurav?
It's barely, it is more than that. But
Yeah.
recently it has been very high. This is like, okay, we're taking, but normally if I say I usually take this number as 4%,
4%. Okay. Well,
because the government which they publish the inflation rate, it is not the retail inflation, it's the wholesale inflation, which takes out your real estate, petrol, and again like basic one. So it's like you take out the most important things. So how do are you even calculating the real inflation rate?
that's a great point. That's a great point. And we'll see this in the calculations, because inflation rate affects the amount that you have to save in the future, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why it's important to be a visionary as well, to understand what happens to your investment as well. Like, and we'll talk about it, maybe not in this podcast, but next one. So like we said, they have the farmer operations is good. They have sales from produce, livestock, and farmers market contracts. And then Lana has got a part-time job at Maple Creek Co-op, and she works 20 hours a week there. And then they have a side income, so they seasonal U-pick events and some direct sales off the farm. So for government programs, they hopefully are going, because they're self-employed, they're going to put in money. They are putting money into CPP, so that they can have OAS
Pension.
in the future, the pension in the future. Like, they're pre-planning,
Yep.
and hopefully some tax credits, because there is some tax advantages being a farmer. The long-term goal, we got into this conversation obviously because of the show, is to create their own private lending capacity and obviously use the infinite banking concept to their advantage, and we can. I don't know if we're going to have time to show it in this
Not today. Not
episode.
today, but maybe second or third episode.
Yeah, yeah, like how we take this results and we come up with the plan and then implement the plan for this great, lovely family. So yeah, like what we talked about, the benefits. Um, uh, these are going to be the benefit at age 65. So they're going to have a pension plan of $1,300 and $621 in
Only
OAS. So, I mean, when you look at these numbers and you think, 20 years from now, are you able to live on this? It depends on a few things, right? So yeah, obviously because they're self-employed, they're not going to have employer benefit, pension benefits. That and then is retiring while important enough that you would commit to setting aside money every month? And obviously, I know it's a silly question, but they said yes. And then what age would you like to retire? And they said 62. I had a laugh. And if I can help you retire at this age, this is where we ask your commitment.
That's
Is
it.
you implement that plan? And of course, he laughed again and he said yes. So yeah, we asked the question because we do need that commitment, and yeah, like he said, absolutely. So and then we're happy because we're doing something, and they're engaged because now that question engages you into listening. Oh, I gotta stick to the plan. Okay, what's the plan here? you know,
Show me the plan.
show me the plan now. Okay, so I asked them about their investments, and this goes with everybody. They're pretty good. They're doing well. They have savings at 45, which most families don't even know the concept of. We have a few different types of vehicle, and one of them is a TFSA, and so Jesse has a TFSA on his name, and he's got 38,500 saved up, and he's getting a current rate of return of 5%. And he speculates that at retirement, again, we said more conservatives, we're going to change it to more of a 4%. And he's he's investing into this fund $250, and that's on a monthly basis. And then we asked him, what else do you have? And he's got RSPs, and he's got saved up 64,000 with a rate of return of 6%. And after retirement, 4%. And he's still making a contribution monthly of $250. This one he structured it differently, but because we're on a monthly base, we just said $250 calculated over the year. But he actually invests $3,000 all at once at tax season, right at the end. And then Lana as well, she's got her TFSA as well, and she saved up $18,000 so far. But Lana is more conservative. Women tend to be more conservatives,
No risk.
and so she's invested. Hey,
No risk.
no risk. Yeah, yeah, they're more. How do you say grounded? They
Yeah.
are very against risk and taking chances, and while men take chances all the time. So who knows which one is the best? We're not arguing here. I don't want to argue with any women out there, but yeah. So Lana is more conservative. She's at 3.20 rate of return, and then she thinks in retirement she's probably going to still stay conservative and maybe be at 3%. She's making a monthly contribution of $150. And I said, if we could show you a better solution for these accounts, would you be willing to move them? And they said, yes, of course. So Jesse, I took a few notes. He maxed out his TFSA contribution room for several years, and currently is invests in a local credit union in a balanced mutual fund. While this provides stable returns, is considering relocating part of this account to a participating whole life policy to
Mhm.
create the predictable long-term liquidity. Because we talked about it, he watched the show and he's like very intrigued, but yet he doesn't know how to take action, and that's the point
Why
of
we
all
there?
this. Um, Jesse RSPs has been funded irregularly over the years. Mostly it's for his personal tax deductions. And the funds are invested in Canadian equity and fixed income. However, Jesse is frustrated because his tax implementations on withdrawal and the lack of flexibility in the future. So I don't know. Would you like to explain what happens with the RSPs and why they're not so great for the tax implications?
Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we continue on. Lana, I took a few notes there too. She prefers security over risk, like we talked about. Her TFSA is in a GIC and a high interest savings account in the bank. So when we look at this, it's unfortunate that people don't take a little bit more risk, but it is what it is. And again, like what we talk about inflation and all that, that's in the future talk, or maybe we'll talk about it today. She's open to exploring alternatives that can offer guaranteed growth and access to funds for emergency or education, which is important as we build a financial house, specifically a joint whole life policy structured for long term savings. And then my notes were the Sprouts' current investment approach is conservative and tax driven, not strategy driven. So, and that's what's important is to have a strategy because, like we hear about all these vehicles, but we don't have a strategy to implement the most efficient way to
Yep.
take use, right?
Yep.
So they're saving constantly, but without a coordinated plan. Their biggest gap, limited access to capital without penalty, no guaranteed legacy or liquidity for farm succession, and then over reliance on taxable withdrawals in retirement. Reallocate part of the RSP. That's what the recommendation we're going to make is into a structured infinite banking participating whole life policy to build a tax-free retirement. So that was investments. And should we take a look at the results now, or should we come back? What do you think?
No, we should look at the results.
Maybe
That's complete.
we should look at the results
Yeah.
because it okay.
Then only we will be able to see at least what are the results for the uh, outcome of their current situation, what they need to do, or what they're doing.
Yeah, great. Okay, so monthly goal and income. So here's a nice chart, like what we discussed about, and this what happens with breakdown by percentage. We got shortfall, we got pretty graphs and everything like that. But here, what it looks like with your investments. So when we look at the plus 650, so all their savings are all added together.
Yep.
And when we look at the age of 62, that's when the contribution stops. Well, partly, but Lana will still invest because she plans to retire later. And this is when the withdrawal starts coming in. So, and then we can see on the right hand side where my arrow is that
Hmm.
they decrease their savings and
They are
and
they run out of
they're
money
taking
at age 5.
and they run out of money age what age
65 up there at
65
65. Yeah.
right there 65 they're out of money. So that's like they were shocked when we showed these numbers, right? Because how do I save this much money? They save $650 and they retire at 62 and they are out of money at 65.
That's in,
So, hey,
that's inflation.
that's inflation for you. Yeah, yeah, and we didn't put it at 4% like Gaurav does. We were
Yeah,
trying to stay positive.
yeah. If it was 4%, they would have been done
They'd be
by
out of money,
63.
on the first year.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go on. That's pretty impactful, isn't it?
Yep. That's
I
the,
mean,
that's the point where they say that I calculated it right, like how it's happening. So people, what they miss the most is the inflation. They think
yes,
that what the egg bread and the gas will cost same what it is costing today after 20 years. It's not the case. Just ask your parents what it used to cost gas at that time, and you will get your answers. In 20 years, it will be expensive. People
oh
save, but
man,
they don't
like,
save
yeah,
that much.
yeah, 25 years ago, I worked for a gas station, and I
Yeah,
remember it was 30 cents a liter at one point. It
yeah.
got down. It was crazy. It was like everybody was just driving and everybody was happy, like, and
Gone are
then
the days.
gone are the days. Yeah. And yeah, it is crazy that it's not even calculated because that's what's happening these days. Like, baby boomers are retiring, but hey, they can't. They didn't do any planning, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh gosh, like I gotta keep working,"
Yeah, that's why I
and
see
that,
a lot of old people working at Walmart and
yeah,
like
Home
the
Depot,
yeah, they don't even keep them because they need energetic people, and there's so much job shortage right now. For every job there's like 100 people try in line to do that job.
yeah,
That
yeah,
make things even worst.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then, like these guys are saving more than your average family too.
Yeah,
650
they're
a
in
month.
top 10%. They're in top
Yeah,
10%.
they're in the top 10%. So, and they only got 3 years. Anyways, and we'll go to education needs. So obviously they have two kids. Willow Sprout. She was born in 2009, and she has 4 years left to education to graduate. And no, sorry, 2 years left before she graduates from high school, and then her she's planning to do agribusiness or what do you call it? Oh my god, her degree. It needs 4 years to complete. So we calculated an average annual cost of $20,000 a year. That includes, all living expenses, tuition, books, and all that. And they have saved up in our ESP $7,500. Again, we're conservatives and optimistic about inflation being at 2.5, and they would like to cover 100% of the cost and make a monthly contribution over top of the investment, $150 a month. And they have a joint account. The two kids, our ESPs, are connected in a joint account. And so they have 7,500 each. So, but the total is 15,000 for them saved up so far. And the contribution is 150 once, right? Oakley is a little bit less. He's 5 years away from graduating, and his degree or technical skills only takes 2 years to become a mechanic. So they're saving modestly for Willow's education and Oakley's, but most funding will likely come from future farm income or hopefully the policy loans once we set them up, because
Yeah.
they won't be able to sustain it. They're only at a 1 year, a half a year for the two of them in savings. So yeah, even though RESPs are great with their grants and everything, their goal is far away. So um, yeah, it's something to expect. So let's take a look at the results, the calculations. It's all put into charts, and we talked about it before. And so we calculated the education cost in the future. So for Willow is at $87,000, and for Oakley is $41,000.
Yeah.
That's including, the inflation calculation and everything like that. So that's a total of $128,000. And they have to save $33,000. Is that a year? Yeah.
Hmm.
And they have to make a monthly contribution. Well, they're making a monthly contribution of 300. So here's the cost graphs. Come up with some pretty graphs for the spread of their educations. Sprouts are saving modestly for Willow's education through a family, but most family, yeah, we already talked about this. So yeah, these are the results and these are the facts, again, we're being conservatives. You go into doctors or lawyers or any other degree that takes more time, like engineering, you're
100,000. At
five
least
years,
100,000.
100,000 each kid, right?
Yeah, for like 5 years minimum. I'm saying it can be more if you go for like UBC, like pretty good colleges, and
Yeah, that's
like
right.
engineering courses and everything. They're expensive.
Yes,
And
100%.
if you
Engineering.
see here, after 2 years, because they didn't saved in time about RESP, most of their savings will be taken up by kids' education.
Yes,
So the
exactly.
shortfall is, so which means that even after contributing 650, they will fall short on this one. This is another aspect of financial planning. You always dreamed about like your kid working as an engineer, but you never saved for his money, or even if you saved, you just talk to the bank and they just park your RESP in 4%. It like rate of return from 4 to 8 or 10 or 12 will show you the
Or
numbers.
or
And
like I wanted to add that there is products and incentives for that government has, like the student loans, and I had to go through it as well. Like it's like Gaurav said. Your parents have dreams of, oh, you can become an engineer, and if you do this, but they've never saved up. My parents never saved up. They never looked forward of what that would take. So I had to get my student loans, and when I graduated, I had $100,000 of debt,
oh
right?
my,
And yes, there is debt relief and everything like that. But again, by the time I pay it back with my current savings, it takes years.
hmm.
And to start off your life in debt, that's the
Ah,
worst financial decisions you ever made.
and that's what happening to most of the kids, even in India. They have like huge debts because of their education loan and everything, and
Yeah.
they start with negative. That's why planning is so important, like having proper strategy even for RESP. This one small thing, it's your biggest dream to see your kid going to the best college, and people don't plan for it. So that's what EFA do for you.
Yes. Yeah. And this is all free. Like we would set this up all free. Just it's like we give you a roadmap, sort of, in a sense, right? It's you choose to take the path, and we don't hold you to it. If you want us to hold you to it, we'll do it. And but you have to see what the path looks like, because if we don't show you this, like, you're gonna resent and have more stress in life, and maybe your life expectancy will be lowered, right?
Yep.
So we went on life insurance. This is a critical part that when I first learned it, I was shocked. I was just like, wow, this is, I never thought of it, right? So when we look at Jesse's income, he's making $96,000 a year. Again, conservative inflation rate. And Lana is making 31,200. So we asked the question, so if you were to pass away, what would you want to give to your wife of the percentage of income that you would want to go to your wife, and for how long? So Jesse said, I would like to have her to have 70% and be open to be for 15 years. And so Lana said the same, even though I think women should be higher because they're taking care of the family, which is never calculated in the loss of income. But obviously, if a wife was to pass away, you have, like daycare to take away, or people watching over, right? And if you don't have family help, that increases your money input. We were conservatives with funeral and final expenses to be 10,000, even though that's just a simple cremation.
Yeah.
Is there an expected annual rate of return after tax life insurance invested? I sure hope so. So, rate of return is 5%. Again, if you invest with us, that's pretty conservative. Do you want to include a children's life insurance plan? They said yes. Obviously, if children, God forbid, are to pass away, it takes a lot of time to get back into it. So it would be nice to take a break or be able to mourn them as well, not just going back on the job. Would you like to include Lana's debt in the life insurance calculation? Yes. And then we have all the debts in the future as well. And we took that down in a
Kubota.
budget.
What is Kubota again? What is Kubota? You have written Kubota as a debt.
Oh, Kubota is the tractor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's a
they
track.
bought a tractor. Yeah, and then they got well, this is all under Jesse's name. Jesse's got most of the grunt on his name. So, well, because he's the one making the most income, right? And then they have a cold storage system and an irrigation all implemented into one loan. And then, would you like to include Jesse's mortgage in the life insurance calculation? And of course, he said yes. And does this? Oh, I gotta click these.
Mm-hmm. Yes. On the
Um,
other, on the other side as well, on the top.
yeah. There's a little bit of a delay, so that's why it clicks like that. So enter amount they paid for their coverage. So 420 is what's left on the mortgage. And then there's the kids' education in the event of, would you like to have their kids covered education? So that's all calculated in there. And then does Jessie have currently life insurance? Yeah, they have a small life insurance, it's personal, and they're currently covered at 420 and they pay $95 a month. And will you be replacing the current coverage? And he said yes. Has Jesse been ever with reason, like, yeah, they're non-smokers and we didn't turn on quote. And then we have a couple of emotional questions that we ask. Would you say that it's important to protect and secure your family's financial future if you were to die prematurely? And then there's 3 multiple choice on important, and very important. Obviously, Jesse said it's very important. What is your most valuable asset in the event of your ultimately death? Your income goes away. A wise life insurance purchase is like buying a substitute for your income, which can mean the difference between maintaining the family's current standard of living and financial disaster for those left behind. Your car, your home, or actually your income. So
That's
he,
a
he had to think about it for a little bit, because when you ask about assets,
yeah.
people say first, my home, it's my asset. Is it or is it not? And then
Yes.
Obviously, we make it a little obvious to say actually your income, but anyways, do you currently own any life insurance? If no, when a responsible family like yours doesn't have any life insurance outside of work, is underinsured, it's usually due to one of the following reasons. Which reason best describes you? Didn't think you could afford it, didn't see a need for it, or never got around to it. Isn't that true though? Like whenever you ask this question, like a lot of people, what do you see mostly? The answer.
Uh, there are only two things. Number one is like I can't afford it, and even if there's so much funny stories around it. Second one is didn't see there's a need, and it comes from like the second option comes from a lot of students who think that they don't need uh, this. But I was surprised when so many families say that I didn't see a need for it. Like, whoa, maybe they didn't wanted to give the first one because sometimes they take it as a personal kind of thing, like I can afford it.
Yeah,
It's
I can afford it. I'm not
I
scared.
can afford it. I'm just not taking it because I
Yeah.
don't see it. But deep inside, 90% of people, they think a term insurance which is cost effective or any other insurance product is not worth the money. They think it's a
Well,
waste of money because they don't get it back. That's why people never get it.
I always say, you do you put insurance on your car?
Yeah,
And
everyone
then
says,
everyone says that. Yeah, I do. I do. I do. Okay. So why do you put insurance on your car?
yeah.
Well, if I get into an accident, right?
Hmm.
But is there a chance that you will never get into an accident? And they say, yeah, there is a chance that I'll never get into an accident. Okay,
That's
so
why.
you're paying for something that might not even happen and you're getting coverage. But let me tell you something about death. It's one of the life's guarantees, tax and death, and you're not even covering even a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what they say. The only truth the day you're born is that you're gonna die,
Yeah,
and that's the only truth in your life. People waste money on so many lies in life, and it was a very famous quotation somewhere. The only uh, the only chance for a middleman to leave a legacy is when he dies, and people like, whoa, how is it possible? So for, let's say, someone is paying $100 for $1 million uh, insurance policy. When they were young, they got it till 65. Something happens at 55, the family would get 1 million. A normal job going guy, a normal family won't even imagine about they can have $100 million otherwise. So what financial product will give you a legacy? And if you compare 100 into let's say, uh, I'm saying he's 55, he took at 35, so in next 20 years he paid around how much? $24,000. And for against those $24,000, what he got $1 million. Tell me, would he have saved? No. And people said, I can't afford it.
yeah,
But you're losing
yeah.
your
It's like,
leave a legacy for your family. Even
well,
if you
it's
don't make, that's it.
that's it. I remember that book. It's the one book that you suggested. He talks
Yeah.
about you just pennies for dollars.
Yes.
It's pennies now, but in the future there will be dollars, right?
Ben
And
Friedman, he's one of the greatest guy who
that's
helped so
it.
many.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like it's not that, it's just we never heard of it. Like it's these different concepts that people haven't even. Where do you get lessons like this?
Oh,
Like I had to join, a financial service company to understand, and that was one of other reasons why I joined. It's like I need to understand how money works, how it's used, how does it affect all our lives. Like it affects our marriage, it affects the way we think. Like it's just like
everything.
it's in everything. But Why is it not taught in school? There's not even
Hmm.
one class about economics or its powers or its use or nothing. Nothing
Like
like
they have education about economics, but that economics is way to fit them in a position so they can work as an economist. Like having financial knowledge is different than having a degree even in MBA or in finance. Maybe you are
yeah.
aware about it, you read about it, but you don't implement in your life. Having education and having a strategy is like you know about going to gym, but you're not hitting gym.
You're not going to the gym. Yeah,
That's
I
it.
love that. I love that. Um, yeah. So, and then I asked, "Do you have a current will?" And he said, "No." I
Oh,
just like that's what I said. I was
and
like,
that's
Jesse, what? This
that's
is
90% of Canadians are at
yeah.
in his position. 90% don't have a will. Oh my god, like oh, and don't have insurance
90%.
as well. So yeah, you live in a house which is on probate, which has a loan on it, and you never prepared for it. See how your family will feel at that point. It's not only the
Uh,
pain of losing someone, but it is the pain you lose the memories of that person with that home. So that's how
um,
deep if you don't have like proper insurance. Like I go pretty serious when it comes to insurances because I've seen a lot recently in this career around me. So yes, that's why I'm putting such hard questions and very blunt questions. Maybe it will hit someone. Sorry for that, but it is
yeah.
meant these questions are meant
Sorry for
for
that.
picking you up from that deep
It's like
sleep.
a 2x4. Well,
Yeah.
like people need to have a struggle, or a punch in the face or a slap in the face. It's called the slap in the face, like all the mafioso, boom, they slap you in the face. Wake up. It's like
What is it?
this is crucial, having a will. Like I have clients that are first time buyers, they're young, and I just say, get a will done. And you could do it at the same time as you doing your possession,
Yeah.
your because it's like you have something now to pass on, and you have to decide where it goes. I know it's one of those tough calls, call it whatever it is, tough conversations, but you got to do it because it's critical. Like one of the stories that when I joined the financial services, they had this sort of funeral concierge coming in, and
Mhm.
they emphasized the importance of getting a will, because also the government has $1 billion a year of unclaimed funds. Could say, like all
Oh.
these young peoples, they unfortunately they die of an accident,
Mhm.
and they have, $10,000, $12,000 in their bank account.
Mhm.
When the parents go to get their funds, oh no, you can't get in. It has to go through probate. So the government decides where to go. So then you go and hire a lawyer, and then the lawyer is asking you for probate fees up front. So you can't get the funds until you have enough funds to release the funds. And then he goes, well, it's looking at all his assets, well, the car, the RSPs, the TFSA. Oh, it's going to cost you about $12,000.
Oh.
So, and then all the process and all that. What do you think the parents are going to say? Okay, no, thank you. Bye bye. So that's what happens. $1 billion in the government's pockets of unclaimed funds. So that's what's important. You want that money to go to your heir, right? And there's
That's
different strategies, but obviously that's a whole new podcast. Like now we're coming up with different podcast ideas because we could just talk about one thing all the time, right? And this is just from an EFA. That's
yeah.
that's the power of this
That's the
tool.
power of EFA. Like that's how they, nobody will ever. It doesn't. An economic guy will never know about will because it's related to law now.
Yeah.
A financial advisor do for you. Like we look after the laws as well, like how the estate will be transferred. And like we're not CAs, we'll not file your taxes and everything, but at the same time, we will tell you when to file, when not to file. Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
we'll definitely make a podcast on this for sure. Yeah.
It's
And
already
then
9.
so I asked them, yeah, I know. We
we,
have 5 minutes. We'll have to continue to the
we
next
knew about
podcast.
we can't complete EFA in one time. We knew about it.
well, we knew about it too. Like it takes about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the questions and the level of information, right? And to
But
gather,
that's the most important thing. We are not doing uh, kind of thing that we just have to complete, but we are here to help a common man to understand these questions in depth. And that's why we take and emphasize on things which are really really super crucial, and which banks don't tell you. A bank will never tell
no,
you about will. It will never tell
no,
you about, like, if you didn't save for RESP as per this rate, what was the cost uh, of the course your kid will have, and as per that, do you have a investment plan? No, they will never discuss about with this with you.
no,
And that's
no.
that's the power of working with a good financial, not say financial professional, not advisor is a CFP degree. We don't have it, but we have LLQP, in which a financial uh, and we don't say that it's us. If you have anyone around you who's doing the same good great job, connect with them. At least
Yeah,
you will get that.
that's
if
that's
you
good
if
advice
you
too.
hesitate if you hesitate talking to us because we're new faces or something like that, talk to someone who you already know, but just make sure he's working for you, not against you. And that's the second problem. Like, we'll talk about this in a separate, how to choose a good financial advisors, and what are the, like, red
That's
flags
a
when you
good.
see, like,
That's good.
when you see, like, get rich quick schemes. If you get them, be aware.
Yeah, beware. Yeah, there's nothing that comes easy. It's like um, there's so many quotes about it, and the other one too that was in my head this morning. You'll never get rich with a job. You'll never get rich with a job. And I'm not saying quit your job today. I'm just saying that you will never have the financial freedom that you deserve to have as an individual, as a beautiful being that a job will give you. The job makes your employer rich, unless
Yeah.
you're on a different platforms. But again, that's another discussion point. And
Yeah.
it looks like we're getting to the end, so let's just finish this,
This
and then
part, yeah.
we'll continue next week. And because I hope this was pretty exciting. Because to me, I was like, I am so passionate about it because it's just like I can see the struggle. I can see the struggle in myself when I was asked these questions, and I just got a slap in the face. I was like, oh my God, I'm not prepared. What do I have to do? And it's about taking the action, right? Yeah,
Right.
I did it with Gareth, so he knows. He's
What
like,
I suggest Rico here, because these next questions are pretty important. If it were affordable, would you like to have one? And this is like
yeah,
already contradicting the thing you were thinking, that okay, it can be affordable. So yes, it is affordable.
yeah, yeah. It is.
So
It is affordable. It's not nothing to be scared about. Like, well, what comes up in the head, right, when you talk about will, it's like, oh, lawyer, notary,
yeah,
yes
expensive
and
thing.
no, and it's like, oh
The-
shit, it's gonna be expensive.
yeah, they don't, like, these $400 could save your family around, if it's a bigger state, you who knows, they're gonna pay like 100,000 or maybe $250,000 just in probate
Yeah,
fees.
just in
And they have to
probate.
wait for and they have to wait for another maybe 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, depend on the family structure and the country they are in, or what kind of laws they have. And
Yeah,
like that's the one simple thing. You think it is expensive, it's not. It's
yeah,
cheaper than your Starbucks, which you drink every day just to post on your Instagram. It is cheaper than that.
Oh, it saves the future. It continues the legacy. But so, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, we're running out of time. But I hope
So
this
we,
discussion
we-
sparks some fire. I mean, I'm definitely passionate. I'm definitely an action guy. I'm here to help Jesse and Lana sprout. And yeah, we'll continue on this next week. And
next week,
uh, yeah, next week, same time,
start
same place.
from the same
What do you
same
think,
topic.
Gaurav?
Yes. Yes,
Same
we
topic,
will.
right?
We'll make this like a story for like story flow in which we'll try to cover all the basics, give them a hint about it, and break your myths or like whatever misinformation you had in mind. We'll try to just break all of them and just
Nice.
be like curious about these things, because if you ignore this, then you can ignore, you have already ignored a lot of things in your life. Like you
Yes.
ignore your debt every month by paying the minimum. It's like that only. But if you really want to have a change, just go through this EFA story. If you are able to connect with it, and we are able to help you with that, and that's our goal, to help you. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on that. I want to end on the quote: "We can show the horse water, but we can't make it drink."
You can make it.
So,
That's it.
so on
Okay.
that, thank you very much, everybody, for watching the show, for being here, for watching in the future. I hope to see you next week. This is Farmers and Finance. Rico here. Gaurav is
Gaurav,
my co-host. Amazing job today. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Bye.
thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.